Welcome to Great Things Tampa Bay, the podcast about great eats, great places, and great people in the greater Tampa Bay area. I'm your host, Kyle Sasser, a Tampa Bay native, a realtor, and sailor. So, this is episode 8, Road Trip. And I'd like to thank you for inviting me along on your commute to work, or maybe you're training for that triathlon that you've been dreaming about. And just like to thank you for putting me in your ear and having a listen. And I hope that you find a new great place for yourself in this episode. Come talk to me. GreatThingsTV.com. That's GreatThingsTV.com. And click on the Get Social link at the top. There you'll find links to our Instagram, Facebook profiles. You send us an email. We even have like a tin can there that you can go there and tighten the string up and get in touch with us. I'd love for you to tell me about your favorite place, your favorite river to canoe down, favorite camping spots, favorite parking garage. Let's get crazy. There you go. So, also, thank you for sharing us with your friends. All you got to do, just go to the website, greatthingstv.com, and we have share buttons all over the place there. Just a little preface for this episode. This one is not Tampa Bay related. It is in Florida, and thus the name of this one, Road Trip. Segment 1, Road Trip. So a few years ago, wife and I, we took a romantic getaway up to Flagler Beach. And I know everyone is probably saying, what, where? Those of you that are more beach-oriented might know about the place. There's quite a few famous surfers from the area there. They also still have surf contests there, but enough of that all in due time. So we went to Flagler Beach, and honestly, I debated about divulging this on this podcast because it's such a cool little place. And it's such a unknown hidden spot of the state that I don't want to ruin it. But I eventually decided, I gotta be true. This place is awesome and it's not too far away. So I'm going to stretch the Tampa Bay part and we'll call this a bonus episode. How's that? But not really. It's still episode 8. So Flagler Beach is located between Daytona Beach, which is to the south, and St. Augustine, which is to the north. It's pretty much smack in the middle. It's a relatively quiet community. It is not very large at all. Definitely still has that old Florida beach feel. Kind of cool. The way that they have done their development there is unlike the rest of Florida. So the rest of Florida, you go to the beach and you're like, man, where's the beach at? And the answer is it's on the other side of those high-rise condominiums and, $8 million houses. Flagler Beach, the beach is right there. A1A it's kind of like a little bluff now, just from all the erosion over the years and stuff. But yeah, so A1A sits up. There is no obstructions to your right. It's just ocean, Atlantic Ocean. And then to your left, there are, hotels, modest houses, stuff like that. There's a couple monsters, but nothing like we have here, nothing like down in Miami. But unobstructed views of the ocean. That's one big plus for Flagler Beach. The place we go to up there, it's called the White Orchid Inn. And I had wanted to go to this place since like 2001, I think was when it first came on my radar. Way back in the early days of the internet. I think I had a cable modem at that time, but it was definitely really slow. Yeah, this place popped up. It was pretty cool. It's a little Art Deco house. Beachfront, or as beachfront as you can get in Flagler. You still have to walk across the road, but it's a pretty cool place. So it's a bed and breakfast spa with 2 pools. One pool, just a regular pool, and the other is a heated mineral pool, which is awesome to relax in. The spa does all the spa stuff. That's honestly a little bit more of my wife's domain, but we've gotten couples massages. They also do like lunches on the beach, facials, pedicures, manicures, all that good stuff. The other good thing about Flagler, since it's not such a popular destination, it's a relatively unknown corner of Florida, the prices are still very affordable. So we're going to put a link to the White Orchid Inn. Please log on, take a look. It does recently have new owners in the last couple years, so they have been doing some renovations and stuff like that. The property has much improved since the first time we went there. So they're doing great work. So, and the other cool thing is the breakfast is there. So most bed and breakfasts you go and, it'll be like, pancakes, eggs, sausage. This place, they make healthy stuff, and which I know gets groans and eye rolls, but this is healthy stuff that tastes really, really good. And I'm going to name off some stuff here, and I know that there's going to be some groans and some eye rolls, but trust me, this stuff is absolutely delicious. So they custom bake breads every day. You know, you get like an assortment. I think there's just like 3 types or something like that. Each one is absolutely delicious. They also usually have the granola with yogurt, which, man, I know it's I know it sounds really lame, but it will blow your socks off. My wife had one which was like yogurt with a pepper in it, which was amazing. They also do quiches, which hands down some of the best quiche I've ever had has been there. And then on the bread. So the bread by itself is good, but what sends it over the top is they have this apricot / cream cheese spread, and it is mouth-wateringly delicious. And the rooms are cool. We always have a good time there. They also have like a happy hour where you can meet the other guests at 5 o'clock with a free glass of wine. Definitely cool stuff. So definitely give them a look if you're looking for a little getaway in Florida, just a few hours away. And yeah, it's easy access to St. Augustine, all that good stuff. It wouldn't be a road trip without great food. The absolute best restaurant that my wife and I have ever eaten at in the state of Florida, and possibly ever, is also located in Flagler Beach, which I know sounds ridiculous. You know, I have ate at some really nice places in New York, with a Michelin star or 3 to their name. They don't hold a candle to this place. So the name of it is Osteria Rustica. They are a Italian place, very unassuming. They don't have a lavish facade. They're actually kind of in like a little commercial park. Like next door, you would kind of expect like a tax accountant. So, so that kind of gives you the idea. The sign on the outside just says Osteria, very unassuming. So the last time we were there, we were at the spa, doing like the couples thing. And we were asking, we're like, hey, what's the best restaurant in the area? Like we're looking for a really good meal. And the lady there was like, well, there is this place, Osteria. It's honestly the best, but you'll never get in. We're like, oh, well, my wife, she was always a little optimistic on this. And she said, well, I'm feeling lucky. Let's give them a call. So we gave them a call. Boom. We actually were able to get a reservation for that evening. This place is small, like they only have like 13 to 15 tables. Not a big staff. Everyone kind of comes out and greets you. You can see everybody. Absolutely amazing from the get-go to the end. Just to hit some highlights here. This last time we went, the appetizer was shrimp with gorgonzola tarragon, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I had the best steak that I've ever had this last trip there. And I'm not sure if the cut was a little different or what. You know how some steaks will like melt in your mouth? This just kind of like, I don't know, like exploded with deliciousness. Like it was absolutely perfect. And the highlight that we always get whenever we go is the fish. So the first time we went, my wife got the fish. They brought it out. It was imported from the Mediterranean, like flew in that day. It was completely encrusted in salt. We thought it was frozen, like it had a frostbite with all the frost piled up on it. Nope, just salt. They bring it to the table. This time we got, I think it was sole, which did not have the salt, but was still equally as delicious. But what makes it so special is they bring the whole fish out to the table. And Floriano is the really friendly, outgoing guy there. If you go, you'll know the one I'm talking about. He comes out, they bring the fish out, boom. They put it on a little table next to yours. They put a little light on it. And he basically just takes 2 spoons and takes this fish apart, like just kind of slides the spoon down the back, separates all that out, takes the skin off, takes the perfect fillet, lays it on the plate, then carefully peels the bone out, takes the other skin off and lays another perfect fillet out on the plate. It's absolutely a work of art. I was able to capture a little bit of it on video, which is going to be on the show notes, so please go to check that out. Amazing and delicious. Everything there is to perfection. And then for dessert, because I gotta have my dessert, we had a handmade puff pastry with chocolate. Just absolutely stunning. Hats off to Osteria Rustica up in Flagler. Y'all are an amazing place. And you can spell that Osteria. Oh, the other cool thing about Flagler, they do have a pier there. They did get hit pretty hard by Hurricane Matthew last year, 2016, to the point where like the ocean didn't come over the bluffs there. Like the bluffs, I'd say, are maybe 10 feet above the actual beach proper. But there was significant erosion. A1A was washed out. The stories I read was like 45 days. There's still a lot of buildings and houses that, they'll have tarps on the roof, still storm damage. If you do head up there, just kind of keep that in mind. But everyone up there is tremendously friendly and can't say enough good things about the place. Oh yeah, and the pier lost 150 feet in the last storm, so hopefully they'll rebuild all that and return it to its glory. If you've been thinking about a road trip, give it a look. Segment 2, Better Butterflies. So again, we have Sal at Better Butterfly Creations. He was kind enough to sit down and have an interview with us. So I would like to present to you part 2 of that interview. If you missed part 1, it was in episode 7, so please go back and have a listen to that. This guy knows his stuff, and he creates beautiful works of art. And on top of that, he's a really cool guy. So without further ado,
this is a way for you to raise money. We're not taking up much space. Our footprint is very small. Half the money goes to you. You can use it for your charity. You can use it for your Christmas party.
Yeah, and honestly, these cases of butterflies are so beautiful that you can't help but notice them and want one, to be honest.
That's it. And so I had the earwings. Popey's place over here had them for years. Yep. 3 years from the time I came out with them. Actually, they did have it for years because they had the cases first. And then I came out with the earwings, and that was 3 Marches ago. The first March, obviously, we began selling them. Yeah. By the following year, March, now Northerners come down and saying all their friends liked them. Can I have 10 pair?
These are good problems to
This
have.
was a great way for them, like I said, to raise money. It's worked out real well. Popey's was U15 soccer league.
Yep. And Popey's it's a local restaurant here.
There's 7 of them. Yeah. They have 7 restaurants. It's a Greek chain of restaurants. But anyway, yeah. So and Troop 68 Boy Scouts. Yep. I also raised money for the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Suncoast in St. Pete way back when I was just starting to make a lot of this stuff. Well, I raised enough money to buy 2,000 plants.
Wow.
For a butterfly garden behind Lakewood High School.
Nice. And
it was a 7,500 square foot butterfly garden. I built an arbor and everything. So it was all my money that I raised for them. Anyway, all I did, I met with the neighborhood association. I said, we're putting this beautiful butterfly garden, the prettiest one around. We built it, and all you need to do is have volunteers once a week go out and maintain it. I said, the city has put in a sprinkler system and everything. It's on a timer, just need to keep it up. Yeah. Not one volunteer. Yikes. Not even when we were putting in the plants.
Wow.
Oh, I take it back. One volunteer came by and gave us a plant, but couldn't stay. So typical.
Sad.
You learn a lot about people.
Yeah.
So, you hear I was giving it to them for free, all my costs, my labor. But the Boys and Girls Clubs was very appreciative. And Mayor Baker, Rick Baker at the time, came to me, he said, Sal, because he knew me through the Boys and Girls Club. He said, Sal, I'm known for all the dog parks. He said, I'm thinking about putting a butterfly garden in each park. He said, could you design them? I said, sure. I could even help you raise the money. And I said, but this is the problem. And I told him about my experience.
Yeah, with the
Not one volunteer. I says, that's going to be a problem. He says, well, that is a problem because I can't afford to hire all these workers to go maintaining them.
Yeah, it's tough.
I said, well, it's unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah, it's good to be realistic on things.
So we didn't do it.
All right. What's your favorite butterfly and why?
I think the birdwing, mainly because it was near extinction and because of the project, because of the cause which I represent. Yeah. We were able to help that butterfly and several different species come out of extinction.
Yeah, so those are the ones that were being sold for $500 on the black market. Yeah. And then now there's...
$50. I sell a case for $50. Yeah. I don't even buy that butterfly for $50.
Yeah, like when they were endangered, how many were there?
Well, they were near extinction, which means they're ready to disappear.
Yeah. Are they bugs? Or?
They're bugs. Okay. And fortunately, unlike animals that take a long time to rebound, if you just save a few bugs and let them lay 200 to 400 eggs each
and protect them,
you end up with 2.7 million.
Yikes, that's awesome. That's awesome. What's the weirdest fact about butterflies that you know?
I think the weirdest fact has to do with a family group out of Africa called the Charaxes. 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 They fly 35 miles an hour.
Wow.
They're the fastest butterflies in the world. The fastest moth is a hawk moth that flies at 40 miles an hour. Okay, but the fastest butterfly is 35 miles an hour. And the fact that they fly that fast is unique, But an
they-
even more unique trait is that the males are the carnivorous. They feed on juices, meats,
Yeah.
rotting flesh. They are like the vulture of the butterfly world.
Interesting. So are those the ones, like
And-
you'll see them on carcasses or something? Or?
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
If you see nature shows,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see a butterfly flying off the carcass, they're sipping the juices out of that.
I mean, are they the same shape as other butterflies?
No, they're much more powerful. I'll show you one in just a bit.
Yeah, awesome.
And one of the butterflies that's in that case there. The females won't eat rotting meat. They'll only eat rotting fruit, fermented fruit. And because of that, you can actually see the females flying erratically because they're inebriated. So that's
pretty hilarious.
Isn't that funny? The females are always inebriated, like, all I do is produce babies, you know?
Well, you know, I'm sure.
So they see them flying erratically because they don't even fly in a straight line.
Well, yeah, maybe that's like the moms with the wines, you know, the humans.
Yeah, I would say, I'd say that's a pretty unique
Yeah, that's good to me.
trait there, huh?
And yeah, I mean, kind of sad that it has to be rotted. That seems like it'd be a pretty good.
Well, rotting fruit is fermented,
Yeah.
you know?
But it seems like it'd be a pretty good movie scene if you could do like Death by Chiraxus butterfly. Where somebody's
Yeah.
tied down. It just takes like days.
Don't go dying around the male Charaxus, that's all.
Monarch butterflies, overrated or underrated?
I think it's absolutely fascinating. A lot of people talk about, the migration. Well, the monarch lives 4 months, so you don't see monarchs in our
Yeah.
collections. So the monarchs live 4 months, and that's the male, not the male or female, that hatch in Canada. So they overwinter, then they live 4 months going all the way down to Mexico. The monarchs that fly back from Mexico to Canada only live a month.
Yeah.
So it takes 3 to 4 generations to make it back to Canada.
Yeah, and
The last generation then overwintering, you know?
And for this, I actually did a little research on them, and that I didn't know. Like, I've watched a couple documentaries on them, but I didn't realize that their generation cycle actually changes for that migration.
Isn't that strange?
Where they live like 3 times as long just to make the journey, which
Yeah.
is whatever biological mechanism.
Well, what it is the butterflies are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm headed for sunshine.
Like, get me down there.
Really encouraging, you know? They're going on vacation.
Yep, just like
The other ones, we're going back up north, I'd rather die.
yeah, just like wintertime if you're in Michigan or New York, coming down
Come on down.
coming down to Florida.
Well, so what triggers that mechanism, that instinct to move down? You heard it here.
Yep.
As the Earth axis tilts, changing from summer to winter, the leaves, the same effects that change the leaves, lack of sunlight, is affecting the monarch's food plant as well. And they will head south looking to follow their food plant
It makes sense.
because they need to produce and lay eggs. So they don't fly all the way down. What they do is as the Earth's axis tilts, it changes the air currents that are high up or in your stratosphere. The monarchs will lock in there. They'll fly up into the airstream, lock their wings, and they'll glide till the sun is setting. Then they'll come down. And where they come down, when they wake up in the morning, they will lay eggs on whatever milkweed around, and then just fly back up and continue their journey.
Which is impressive. I didn't know that butterflies could fly that high.
And they don't fly, they glide.
Yeah.
They're following the airstream.
I mean, even just getting up.
No, they've seen them in planes. They've been in planes and see butterflies flying by.
That's bananas.
Now, the butterflies in Mexico, once the Earth has tilted back the other direction, now the food plants all starting to grow all the way up here, and that triggers the mechanism to once again go in the airstream, which is heading the opposite direction, locking their wings and gliding back up.
Fascinating. So that sounds underrated to me. It sounds like
That is underrated, isn't it? Well, a lot of people don't have that knowledge. I hear them quote facts that are infactual
yeah.
on TV all the time.
I'm sure it makes you mad.
Give me a break,
Yeah.
you know? Like one of the biggest ruses about butterflies is, oh, you build birdhouses and the birds will go in and, lay their eggs and build a nest. Well, let's build these little houses with these little slots.
Yeah.
And the butterflies will fold their wings, walk in, and then open up, right? No, that's just outrageous. The Field of Dreams is planting the right plants.
Yeah.
Like I said, each butterfly has its home plants, it lays its eggs on.
They don't live in houses in the wild, so
No, they don't have houses there, and so we don't have urban and suburban butterflies.
Yeah, yeah. I get the same way, like with computers or like HGTV. I'm just like, oh, this is all wrong.
I think, how stupid are you? You know, you believe in this? You're getting sucked in? You know, anyway.
It's crazy.
By the way, people are very concerned that the monarchs have died off by the millions. Well, see, man came up with the great idea, well, you know what? These cutworms lay their eggs on the silk of the corn, and then they go in, they bore their way in and ruin our corn. So let's use a systemic insecticide.
Yeah.
Instead of spraying and killing everything, we'll have it penetrate through the roots and go through the system. Everything was going great until the pollen started spreading that was corrupted by the insecticide. And once that pollen blew, it blew over everything. And so butterflies are dying by the millions.
Yeah, and of course, you know, I'm sure that's perfectly fine for us to consume as well.
Yeah, and it didn't affect us. You know. But the point is, the butterflies replenish themselves. Remember I said 200 to 400 eggs?
A few generations.
They're not like animals that take so long. They can replenish themselves very quickly. So maybe we did have millions laying on the ground, but there were billions that went down. And all you need is a couple million to produce billions once again.
They bounce back quick.
People, oh, this is terrible. We're killing all the monarchs. Well, I haven't seen any monarchs. Whatever. I see monarchs all the time. I released 200 of them.
So you're doing your part here in
Oh,
Florida?
yeah. I released 200 monarchs. I released 150 orange-barred sulfurs and 100 great southern whites.
I mean, do most...
Most of them live here.
Okay.
In fact, there's a butterfly flying out there right now. That's a fritillary who feeds on the passion vines.
Fascinating.
When I had all my flowers, my goal before I hurt myself was to grow 5,000 zinnia and have them up and down all the driveway.
Yeah.
I was going to build 4-foot bed.
Which are pretty just on their own.
Oh, zinnias are beautiful. And my wife wanted crepe myrtles, you know. It would have been fantastic, but I have to wait.
Do any butterflies like bougainvilleas?
There's a moth that likes a bougainvillea. Usually moths are very destructive. Unfortunately, it's an ugly little grayish brown moth.
If somebody wants a ton of butterflies in their yards, what would you recommend planting?
Milkweed, of course.
All right, for the monarchs.
Passion vine.
Milkweed for the monarchs.
And passion vine. Okay. And there was celokia. Because even if you have a small yard, you can grow up. And I have 2,700 feet of fencing here.
Yeah.
Which I have to replace now. The guy next door started a fire. He thought, instead of mowing this, I'm going to burn my field. It spread into this field behind us.
Yeah.
Couldn't get to the field there. They asked me if they could run over my fence. I said, go ahead.
Personal story. I grew up in Dover, near Plant City, where the dinosaurs are on I-4. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like 4. We lived next to the strawberry fields there, and we had like a brush pile from all the trees and stuff. We had like an acre of land out there. So I'm in the kiddie pool playing, and it was a hot day, so both my parents get in and we're splashing around. Anyway, we hear the fire truck coming down the road, and we're like, oh, well, that's weird. And we were burning. My dad was burning the brush there. To try to knock it down because it had gotten too big. So this big pile was on fire. So we hear the fire trucks coming. Didn't think anything of it. Until they pulled through into the backyard and then
oh no!
broke the hoses out. So somebody had called it in. My parents were quite embarrassed, but I thought it was awesome because there was a fire truck in the yard.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's funny. I hadn't thought about that in years.
One of the memories I have collecting is I went in this field, and this was in New York, and I was surrounded by Shasta daisies. The whole field was full of Shasta daisies. Butterflies flying all around me. In fact, the monarch landed right on my shoulder. In fact, I was so amazed by the whole scene, I stopped collecting. I just was watching. And I remember even as a young kid, probably 8 by that time, I remember saying, thank you, Heavenly Father, for this beautiful world.
Yeah, that's amazing.
An 8-year-old kid has that kind of concept in his head.
Yeah.
That Heavenly Father has done this,
And it's something that stuck with you, like you said,
that
for
is like
60 years,
it's one of those memories I'll never forget. Because I still feel the feeling of how that was with all those Shasta daisies blowing in the breeze and the monarchs and all the butterflies flying around.
That sounds beautiful. My wife and I, we usually go to like the Appalachians and we'll hike a trail there, and you'll come down to like a little creek valley.
And they're flying, sipping mud.
Yeah, there's like the big, tall, purple, I don't know what their plants are called, but they look like a poppy, but they're up on stalks. And there's always like a ton of butterflies flying around there. And it's always amazing and, like you said, serene and You know, it really
incredible.
connects you to the land.
You think, what
and
am I
everything
doing?
else.
Why am I in this place where you have to put up with traffic and everything?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I went to El Salvador, and one of the happiest families I ever saw was a family, the Vallecillos family. And they lived in an adobe hut that my son helped build when he was there on a mission. He also had a sugarcane that he maintained and stuff. Anyway, we went to visit them. The mom and dad were home. There was no door, no windows. It was just holes, like you would draw when you're a kid, you know? And you don't knock on the door because there is no door. You walk to the edge, and the dirt floors are dirt.
Yeah.
And you just say permesso, which means permission to enter. The woman in the house comes out, greets you, invites you in. Now, in that hut, they have wiring running through this Indian village, okay? And everybody connects to the... So this, you have to picture this.
Is it electric or telephone?
Yeah, dirt floor, grass hut. The only thing that was substantive was the tin roof that they had on top, okay? That's the only thing you had to buy. Cost you about $3,000 to build a house. But anyway, we go to the house, and TV in the house. Yeah, they have some lights in there, and they have a TV. And of course, it's very dark because, you know, dirt doesn't really reflect light real well.
Yeah, it just absorbs
it all, yeah. And the floor, you know. But anyway, but they have a TV, so it's really strange, you know. And so I was going to go, and they have a hammock outside. I was going to open the hammock and, you know, get in, you know. We'd been running around collecting butterflies. Anyway, she said, no. Well, the baby was in the hammock.
Uh-oh.
And it's a wraparound kind of, you know. They just put the baby in the baby's as comfortable as can be. You know?
Rocks a little bit,
That was really something, but a happier family, happier kids, never saw, you know.
All right.
Amazing.
Good stuff. Not sure if you're aware, but so the video game, The Legend of Zelda, there is actually a part where the main character, Link, has a net and he goes out. He catches fairies, but they
really?
they look like butterflies.
Oh, okay. No, I don't play video games.
So his technique is to basically just hold the net out and spin in a circle. Which,
really?
Which obviously is probably not the best way to do it. Like if someone was wanting to kind of follow in your footsteps, how would you recommend to collect butterflies?
I had a whole neighborhood following in my footsteps. Okay. I made nets for all the kids. And that summer, this one summer, there were kids all over our neighborhood running around. They'd collect the butterflies and come show me. But with the net, you catch it. There's two different ways. The other way, if they're in the air, you swing the net, or this way, either way, and you flip it with your wrist. Okay. And the bag folds over, holds the butterfly.
Okay. So just to describe it to the podcast listeners, you're kind of coming in like a downward...
No, sideways.
Okay, so like a sideways.
More of a sideways motion if they're flying in the air. Okay. Now, if they're landing, hopefully not on flowers or whatever.
Yeah, don't beat the flowers.
Yeah, but maybe landing on a weed or whatever. What you do is you hold the tip of the net, and then you just bring it down on top of it. Okay. Still holding this with the net on the ground now, but the netting being held, pinching your fingers and holding it up. The butterfly will automatically fly up, and then you can close it up. And
so once you've caught a butterfly, then what?
What you do is you take it and you slap it on the ground a couple. No, I'm kidding. There's a quick pinch to the thorax.
Okay, and the thorax is
the thorax is the middle. There's three. There's the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Okay. Thorax is a part that the legs are protruding from and has their organs. And a quick pinch will knock it out. Okay. I got good at it, and I taught the kids as well. You knock it very lightly, then you can examine to see if it's a perfect specimen. If it's a perfect specimen, it can go in your collection. If it isn't, then you let it come back and it flies off. If it is a perfect specimen, you give it the death pinch.
And okay, so let's see if we can maybe come up with the pressure here. So would it be, I'm trying to think of something
between the index and the thumb.
Yep, so.
And you just squeeze the thorax till you hear it pop. No, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah. So, like if you're testing like al dente pasta?
Well, you'll get the feel of it.
Okay.
When you don't squeeze hard enough and you open the net up and it flies out, you know, well, I should have squeezed a little harder. Let me catch another one.
But don't start off like you're trying to...
yeah, right. Don't squeeze it to death.
And what do you look for when you're trying to see if it's a perfect specimen?
When you do have a perfect specimen, then you have to name it. You have to say what date you caught it and what were the surroundings. A windy day, was it, you know,
Yeah, so kind of like show the respect. For
Yeah,
the-
well, what you're doing is you're taking scientific data. With that scientific data, remember I said each butterfly has its own plant?
Yeah.
If that butterfly is caught in El Salvador, for example, in June, that butterfly feeds on passion vine, and maybe even a particular passion vine. So that tells whoever is reading that information that not only the fauna, but the flora
yeah.
are in bloom in that area. So it tells you about the environment. Well, there we go.
Perfect. Well, Sal, thank you so much.
And thanks to Saul at Better Butterfly Creations. If you'd like to take a look at some of his pieces, or maybe take a whack at sprucing your wall up a little bit, I gotta tell you, we have a pretty good sized one. It's absolutely amazing, and it's on our wall, so if you do happen to stop by the house, have a look. Buy your own, you won't regret it. Segment 3, let's get personal. So this is the road trip episode. We went up there. It was our first wedding anniversary, Abby and I, aka she who must be obeyed. Every time I call her that, it always cracks her up. What else we've been having going on? I did want to fly a kite while I was up there, but we went into the kite shop. You would think it would be a pretty happy-go-lucky thing. Like there would be joy in the world. Like how could anything bad come from like a kite or a kite store? But yeah, apparently there's a lot of drama in the kite business and also the retail business on A1A there. So yeah, negative juju. We quickly headed out of the shop. So yeah, just the proprietor. I'm sure she is absolutely a nice lady, but just must have had an off day or something like that. So. Yeah, don't bring the business problems to your customers. It doesn't really help you sell anything. Other than that, things are going well. We've had a pretty hectic couple months here just with real estate taking off and, birthdays, anniversaries, all that good stuff. So, life just gets wound up on occasion, but things are kind of settling down here, and good food that we've been eating and good people we've been meeting and interacting with definitely helps make that better. So if you see me on social media or out and about, please interact and say hello. It does take quite a bit of energy to put this together. To know that y'all appreciate this, that means a lot to me, so thank you. Segment 4, Sobering Thoughts. Did you know that catnip works up to 10 times better than DEET, which is the common chemical in most bug repellent? So catnip works up to 10 times better than DEET at keeping the mosquitoes away. But unfortunately, if you're out in the wilderness, if you do run into any Florida panthers, they're just another cat, so they will react just like the cats will. Probably won't be having such a good day. So take it at your own risk if you want to bathe yourself in catnip. We actually planted some around the house here just for the two cats we have, just to kind of give them a little, everybody needs a little something, something. So we planted some for the cats and completely forgot that we had some neighborhood cats and came out to a couple stalks sticking out of some dirt. Yeah, that was the end of the catnip. Funny enough, so I left the stalks there for a day just because I was like, I'll deal with that tomorrow. And then that night, they dug the stalks out and shredded those to pieces. So yeah, so catnip keeps the mosquitoes away, attracts the cats, so be warned. So I want to thank you for sharing Great Things Tampa Bay with your friends and family. Haven't shared Great Things Tampa Bay with your friends yet? It's easy to do. Just go to our website, greatthingstv.com. That's GREATTHINGSTV.com. On there, you'll see links for Facebook, email, you can send it to your friends, text message, all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah, we really appreciate all the shares. Yeah, looking for your own great place in Tampa Bay? Give me a call at 727-300-2111, or you can send me an email at kyle@sassergroup.com. That's SASSERGROUP.com. I would be happy to help you find your perfect great home or great condo here in Tampa Bay. And maybe you'd rather just tell us how awesome or how terrible we are. You can also do that at the website, greatthingstv.com. Just click on the Get Social link at the top. I said at the beginning, you'll find links to Facebook, Instagram, smoke signals, and if you go to our episodes, you'll also find show notes, recaps, transcripts, maybe a contest or two, and all this is available at greatthingstv.com. Maybe you want to know where the lit lollipops in Lakeland are? Stay tuned for future episodes. Maybe we'll cover that. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.